Hello, welcome to my broadcast of Elite Dangerous Horizons. Looks like my ship needs a little paint work. It's a little dinged up. That's my Type 6 transporter. That's what it is. Type 6 transporter. Doing cargo runs. It's kind of dull. It's not a starfight. It's not strategic fighting. But it pays the bills. So we gotta do some of this stuff in order to buy more ships. Better ships that can fight and haul more cargo. So here we are, Elite Dangerous Horizons, in the starport, looking for a mission. And let's go to Starport Services, and let's repair my paint job. Since it seems to be flawed, we can't have flawed paint. So we gotta go to advanced maintenance. And I see my paintwork is at 20% health. Let's see how much that's gonna cost to repair. It's gonna cost me 79 credits to get it back to 100%. Well worth the price, because you gotta have paint. Your ship flies faster if it's painted properly, of course. And go to the mission board here. I got fuel. I gotta buy fuel for this ship because I don't have the fuel scoop on it. I decided that scooping fuel while carrying cargo missions was probably a bad idea. Boom delivery, 18 units of grain, 840K. That sounds good. That actually sounds like a decent mission. I think I'll take it. Only 18 units of grain. There's no rhyme or reason to this. Look, it's a peddler rank mission. Oh my god. But it pays well. So we're going to grab it. And see if there's anything else going to that system. Which system was the system is Arangori system. Okay, so I'm looking to see if there's anything else going to Arangori. I got to check 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 different factions because each faction offers its own missions. I see nothing going to Arangori there. I got 5 missions I can take here. Nothing I want to do there. Is this a cargo mission? They got lots of kill missions. Different kinds of missions on here. I see nothing going to Arangori. Let's see, these guys are going up. Here's something right here. But it's a group mission as indicated by the blue circle on there, right here. Support the Confederacy by delivering 2788 units of grain. Well, my max cargo hold is 100 tons or 100 units. So I wouldn't be able to do that mission in a single run. You pretty much need multiple ships to complete a mission of that size in a timely way. So I'm not going to be able to get that one. And we got courier missions, which do not take any cargo space. because you're just carrying data, which goes on your hard drive of your ship. So I see nothing going, but still, having a 800K plus mission is probably better than average. So I'm going to run that one real quick and hope that I can pick something else at the destination that is good. I'll be careful not to abandon the mission, though I assume there's a confirmation thing when you try to abandon. I don't want to abandon by mistake. Okay, here's Erengori. It is a contested system, I find out. 18.11 light years away from my current location. Looks like my game is acting up a little bit. Alright, let's go and hope that the distance to the destination is not that far, because once you warp in, you still have to fly to the destination, which ends up taking the longest amount of time, because actually warping between stars only takes a few seconds. But traveling from a star to a planet generally takes the longest amount of time in the game. So I am listening to music while I got my headset on, and I'm listening to Red Hot Chili Peppers. I don't know if my mic is picking that up and broadcasting it, but it probably does get a little bit from my speakers. I'm on the PS4 Pro at the moment, and I've got Spotify, but I could play Spotify and play a game at the same time, but they won't let me broadcast Spotify. So I can't play music on the PS4 Pro and broadcast at the same time, unfortunately. So generally speaking, Twitch lets you get away with copyright infringement a little bit because it's live broadcasting, and live is different from recorded. So generally speaking, they can put whatever ads they want on my stream, and I have no control over that. So obviously, if they put ads on the stream, there's copyrighted material on the stream, they probably owe something. The advertisers or Twitch, whoever gets the money, probably owes something of recognition to whoever owns the copyrights. Of course, recognition for works of art doesn't always come in the form of currency. Some of our greatest artists never get much recognition in the form of money. Though money is the best form of recognition, most of us agree with that. The best measure to go by and now I'm listening to Knocking on Heaven's Door by Guns N' Roses, which I can kind of hear with my headphones on. I just play YouTube and let it play. I pick something out to listen to, and then it just automatically picks stuff for me. It just knows what I like, I guess. The AI at Google is so smart. It knows what songs to play for me. It's learned over the few years that I've been listening to YouTube, so It knows what I like. And sometimes I get new music that I've never heard before, so it's a good thing. It's a good thing. This is, as we can see, 447 light seconds, which is an extremely long distance to fly. Pretty extreme. This is actually going to take maybe 10 minutes to fly from where I am now to Leibniz Orbital out there. I could be interdicted during that period of time. I probably wouldn't be interdicted until I get close to a planetary system. So deep space interdictions are rare. But if the interdiction is going to come, it probably would come when I get much, much closer to the Leibniz Orbital. So I have to be aware that sometimes they give me a warning that there's an interdiction coming in, and sometimes they don't. So it's a variable thing. Sometimes they send you in-game mail and say that bad guys are coming after you because they want your cargo. And actually, if they blow up my ship, they wouldn't get much cargo. Though they might get something for blowing up my ship. I've only got 18 units of grain. Galactic average for a unit of grain is 434 credits. So it's not a high value cargo. It's not the highest value cargo that I've carried. Pretty low value, but the mission reward is pretty high for it, for the cargo that I'm carrying. So it's always a possibility that I don't know how the game calculates when to attempt an NPC interdiction. I would assume that it's based on the value of your cargo, but sometimes I'm carrying bio waste, and that is I've actually been almost interdicted at least once. I've received the in-game mail that enemies were coming after me for carrying bio waste, probably a couple of times, and it never resulted in an actual interdiction, which probably means that I dodged it by some extent. So yeah, this is the boring part of the game, doing the deliveries and ending up having to fly over 400,000 light seconds to do a delivery. And I think I've mentioned before in some of my previous broadcasts that Alpha Centauri is not a place that you want to go do a delivery, because a lot of the Alpha Centauri deliveries go to Proxima Centauri, which is 0.21 light years, which is closer to 6 billion or 6 million light seconds. It's over 6 million light seconds, 0.21 light years. See if I get my billions and millions right. It's over 6 million light seconds, which, as I have timed the flight, it actually takes over an hour of real time to fly to Proxima Centauri in the game. So that is not a mission that I want to do because it's not quick. It is not quick enough. So at this point, I could put on Super Cruise Assist, but if I do, it will slow me down because it will adjust my throttle downward, and I will not be reaching my maximum speed crossing this expansive deep space here. And the other thing that it would probably do is move me out of the deep space zone, which you see in the lower left under where it says alignment. It says deep space. I'm in deep space. Well, there's also a shipping lane where most of the ships are traveling from the warp-in point to the Leibniz orbital, and if I put it on Super Cruise Assist, it would probably move me into the shipping lane where there's more ships and greater likelihood of being interdicted. So being in deep space for a crossing like this is probably a good thing. It reduces your chance of being interdicted. So I see that I'm flying to what is called an outpost class station. The outpost class stations have a couple of small landing pads and maybe 1 or 2 medium landing pads. My ship needs a medium landing pad to land, and outposts always have at least 1 medium landing pad. So if I went to a large class ship, I wouldn't be able to land at any outposts. So the Type 6 transporter is the largest transporter ship that can land at an outpost still, because if you go to the Type 7 transporter, it's going to need a large hangar to land. However, if you get a Python, it has pretty much double the cargo capacity of the Type 6 transporter, and it has a medium landing pad footprint, which means you can land it on an outpost. It hauls more, and it's got greater combat capabilities and defenses than the Type 6 transporter does. So I'd be better off in a Python, but it's a much more expensive ship. So I haven't actually made enough credits, and I've been spending my credits on other ships instead of saving up for the Python. The Python would probably increase my earning power by a factor of 2. But in order to get the Python, I would need to have about 100 million credits to buy the Python and fit the Python with good rank modules, decent rank modules. So, of course, the Python is just under 60 million. You can get a 15% discount if you go to the correct system. They will have the Python available at a 15% discount, but so you could get it for much less than 60 million and just fit it as you go, which is what I've done with the I bought the Federation gunship, and I had just over 60 million credits when I bought that ship. I think it costs over 30 million credits to buy the ship, and I still didn't have enough credits left over to fit everything on the ship that I want to fit on the ship. So I figure out I need another 30 to 40 million to finish fitting the Federation gunship. And I put guns on the ship. I got guns on the ship so far, but they're probably not the best guns that you can get in the game. Because I'm using pulse lasers, and generally speaking, they give you pulse lasers on the ship by default, which indicates that it's probably a less effective module than, say, railguns might be. Though it's supposedly really good against shields, it's not as good against armor. But it will kill stuff. Pulse lasers will pop a ship completely. They just a little bit slower than maybe some of the other guns. So I'm down to 80,000 light seconds on this trip, delivery trip. Now, generally speaking, I can fly the ship well enough to hit that target without using the automated Super Cruise Assist, just doing it manually. And if you don't do it just right, you kind of overshoot because of gravity. Then you end up having to flip over and come in, but it's questionable whether or not that method is actually faster than going in slowly and not overshooting your mark. Because if you overshoot, you can always flip the ship around and you probably end up being closer to the destination when you flip your ship around. And you can make your approach. As you overshoot due to the gravity slinging effect, you're going to kill your engines. You're going to kill your frameshift drive, throttle all the way down probably to flip the ship over, because you have increased maneuverability when you reduce the throttle in order to flip it 180 degrees. Killing the throttle all the way will allow you to flip it a little bit faster, I think. Though a ship that is completely at rest probably has less maneuverability than a ship that is moving. So, of course, killing your throttle isn't going to immediately kill all of your speed either. So I'm coming in 5,000 light seconds here. About time to start slowing down. The ship automatically slows down to some extent. As I can see, my speed is about 90 times the speed of light, I assume, 90 C. It's dropped down to 80 C. The speed is at the top right hand of the radar display. It's rated in C. Time for me to kill the engines a little bit. I'm at about 2,000 light seconds, 1.5K light seconds. I'm coming in and I can see the orbitals of the planetary system as lines on the screen. I can see the orbital of Leibniz orbital around the planet that it's orbiting. Now, when I used to play this game on the PC, it used to be you want to get the orientation of the station before you disengage your FSD, because you want to try to fly into the station as fast as possible so that you do not get scanned if you're carrying illegal cargo. If you're smuggling, for instance, smuggling cargo into a station, you don't want to be scanned, or if you're scanned, you end up getting fined if you have illegal cargo. At the moment, I'm not carrying illegal cargo. I'm carrying grain, and grain is not illegal in any of the systems. Some of the cargoes are illegal in some systems and not others, like slaves and tobacco, for example. They're illegal in some systems, but not others. So I need to pick up my speed a little bit. Coming in, and on the lower left-hand side of my screen, I see a display that tells me the distance to my target and my relative speed. And I want those sliders to be in the blue before I disengage the frameshift drive. So I didn't get alerted about an interdiction, and I didn't get interdicted, so it's all good. Managed to make this delivery. At this point, I can say I'm in the no-fire zone. I probably won't get shot up by an NPC in the no-fire zone. Therefore, this is a successful mission already, even though it's not quite done yet. In order for the auto dock to work, you have to kill your throttle. The thrusters work on a different system than the frameshift drive. Your frameshift drive speed tends to be unlimited, depending on how far you have to travel. And the thrusters are very limited in how fast you can move the ship. Though you have a boost that can give you a temporary burst of speed, which can help you escape a attacker. That can help you escape an attacker. Generally speaking, if you do get interdicted, you can run. You can run away.
Docking successful.
And
Disengaged.
which is arguably a good reason to submit to interdictions instead of trying to evade them. Because evading an interdiction and failing can probably end up in ship damage to some extent. So I'm gonna refuel my ship first, even though I probably have enough fuel to make a few more jumps. I want to keep the tanks topped off. Now, what I'm going to look for is see if there's a follow-on mission when I do this. Okay, so I get 840k credits, a little bit of reputation, a little bit of influence. It's not exactly clear to me what good influence does for the independent pilot, but it does affect the rankings of the factions in the game. As far as I know, that's the way it works. Reputation is what you want. If you have a reward that offers you a high rep gain, it might be worth taking. Instead, if it's an alternative to taking lots of cash, current credits, taking the rep might be a good thing, depending on what your goals are in the game, because rep is going to affect your rank progress. I think your ranking progress more on like Federation and Empire rankings, rank gains. But probably the credits is gonna going for the high credit reward is going to boost my trade rank. It's gonna boost my trade rank. So you got a trade rank, a combat rank, and an exploration rank. You can see I have a trade rank of broker, and I'm 77% of the way to the next rank, which is entrepreneur, I think. So it doesn't matter what the ranks are called. Broker is only a few ranks below the maximum, which is elite. And I see that my Federation reputation is almost max. I'm allied. It seems to have gone down a little bit while I was logged out. It tends to be maxed out when I'm playing. My rank is Ensign, which is like the 6th or 7th rank out of 12 or 13 different ranks that you could have in Federation. And my Empire rank is Serf, which is very low. But I'm not worried about Empire rank because I don't want to buy Empire ships at the moment. I'm working on Federation, and generally speaking, you can only work on one reputation at a time. So there is some crossing over in the systems. Notice that the factions have a symbol next to them, which indicates that they're Federation factions, which is the circle with stars in it. And the Justice Party of Erangori does not have the faction symbol, which probably indicates that they're independent from the Federation. And doing missions for them probably doesn't affect my Federation rank at all. So I would do missions to get rep with them. It doesn't matter. I'll take whatever mission looks like the best one for me credit-wise. Because all the missions reward at least a little bit of reputation. And a little bit of influence to the controlling faction. So I see nothing good here. Nothing good for me. No good delivery missions. Let's see what we got. We got see, I'm gonna have to take a lower grade. This one is almost 200K. That may be below. That's probably below average. I mean, probably the average that I'm getting is per mission is around between 400 and 500K average per mission. This one is an acquire the commodity and bring it back to the station. But I know that if I come back to the station, I have to fly the 400,000 light seconds. So even though that's paying almost 500K for me to, I would have to buy the progenitor cells. So that's going to reduce the reward somewhere. I would have to buy the progenitor cells somewhere, bring them back. That's going to reduce the reward amount. Plus, I would have to fly the 400,000 light seconds, which is going to cause the mission to take an extra 10 or 15 minutes. So I don't want to do that one at the moment. Even if I knew where to buy the progenitor cells. This looks like the best one for a single delivery mission. 200K. Probably below average, like I said, but I'll take it because I'm here and it's the only thing available. And hopefully the next station in the line will have something better.
Landing gear retracted. Ship released. Engines engaged.
And as soon as the mass lock comes off, I can go to my frame shift and warp, which takes like 10 seconds to power up and then 4 seconds to actually do the warp.
4, 3, 2, 1.
Now, 10 seconds to power up the frame shift drive is going to affect your escape time from a interdiction if you submit to the interdiction or if you get caught on an interdiction. And if you use engineering mods, you can get a frame shift drive that powers up a little bit faster. But there's a trade-off. If you get that mod, you can't get another mod on the frame shift drive that increases the warp range. So generally speaking, I get the warp range and not the faster boot up sequence. Though you can get a different mod on a different ship, this ship doesn't have any engineering mods on it. I've only got engineering mods on my Federation gunship. Or no, not the Federation gunship, but the Diamondback Explorer was modded for frame shift range. That is what you want on an exploration vessel. I figure eventually I'm going to attempt to fly to Sagittarius A, and it's like, I don't know, 5,000 light years away, and it's multiple jumps, so it's the center of the galaxy, center of the known galaxy, and in real life there really is a Sagittarius A with a big black hole in the center of the galaxy, so that would be a sight to see. That would definitely be a sight to see. Though it may not be safe to travel within the vicinity of the black hole. Who knows? Who knows the answer to these questions? But as long as we're playing a game, we can fantasize about all sorts of things. So, and this game approaches reality in a sense. So, even though traveling at 108 times the speed of light may not be entirely realistic, it's what you need to be able to do in order to fly through space successfully. So allowing us to do that in these virtual ships is the way to go. The way to go in a game like this. Well, I had this dream last night, and I woke up and I was thinking, you know, the only way to win the war in heaven between the angels and the demons is to get them to work together for a common cause. That's the only way to win. And that's the only way for humanity to win. Is to get human beings to work together for a common cause. Because we have good people and we have like angels and demons in the world, and demons, they're not necessarily bad people. They just have a different lifestyle, I guess. Different requirements to be happy than angels do. So it's just a matter of being different. And I'll tell you a story. I had this ring. I had this sterling silver ring with a Native American design. And I wore it for years on my wedding ring finger. And I ended up having to be hospitalized for a while, and the hospital wanted to take my ring and put it in the safe so that I wouldn't lose it. So I surrendered my sterling silver very, very cherished ring over to the hospital security to put in their safe and lock up and deliver to me when I left the hospital, and they lost it. They lost it. So today, I looked on the internet for another Native American design sterling silver ring, and I found one that I could afford. So it was available by mail order. I went up to the local JCPenney store and got my finger sized so I would know the ring size for the ring, and I mail ordered a new Native American sterling silver ring for my wedding ring finger, hopefully. And it's a native Hopi design, Hopi Indian design. That the design stands for clouds and water. Clouds and water. That is the design that I chose. They had several designs to choose from. The symbolism on the ring that I chose was clouds and water. I thought that was apt for me for whatever reason. And $60 for the ring. $60, which is probably more than I paid for the ring that was lost, which I bought many years ago. Like I said, I wore that ring for many, many years, and it ended up getting lost, and I was so sad. I was so sad that I lost that ring. But really, it wasn't my fault. It was the hospital's fault. Their security was bad. They misplaced it, whatever. I wasn't able to get it back. So today I decided I have to replace that ring with something suitable. To denote my love for the Native American people that have suffered so much. I think the Native Americans, as a group of people, have probably suffered as much or more than the Jewish people have suffered over time in the Holocaust. So they were very nearly genocided, and I don't think that somebody like a Hitler could ever succeed at winning the world through violence. And he tried and pretty much proved that it couldn't be done.
Docking request granted. Landing gear deployed. Docking successful. Engines disengaged. message.
So it looks like there's a better selection of missions here, at least. Oh, LHS 6031, 48 units of bio waste. Why are they paying 1 million credits? 1.1 million credits to deliver 48 units of bio waste. Let's find out. Bio waste is a valuable, it's probably the least valuable commodity in the game, but it seems to be in high demand sometimes. So I'm just going to take that one. That is a pretty high value mission, even though the actual cargo is low value. So I'm trying to get up to 40 million, and it's going to take a while. That is my goal for these cargo runs. And 40 million should enable me to complete modifications on my gunship. And the gunship will probably see some combat scenarios, which I'm not doing in these lesser ships. I bought an Eagle, which is, the Eagle is supposedly the most maneuverable fighter in the game. They call it the Eagle Mark II if you go to the wiki site, but if you look in the game, it's only described as the Eagle. It's the second cheapest ship in the game, so it's very replaceable. So if you want to dogfight NPCs, the Eagle is probably a good choice. So I get here and I see that I have to fly almost 200,000 light seconds, which, as things go, isn't that bad. Isn't that bad, but that's probably the reason why they're paying over 1 million credits for this bio waste to be delivered. Now, when I ordered this ring, like I said, I mail ordered from a website. They had shipping options, and the U.S. Postal Service is free shipping. It probably takes longer than the other options, which end up costing money. So I would take the free shipping if it's available, and that's what I did. So the ring cost me a total of $59.99. $59.99 with free shipping. And that'll probably take a week to get here. So I'll be anxiously waiting for my ring to arrive. Like I said, I went up and got my finger sized for the ring, and they didn't have, I figured out that I need a 11.5 size ring, and they didn't have 11.5 in stock, so I got an 11. So it's probably going to be a little bit tight, but that's okay. So I'm listening to some Pink Floyd now, which I've been listening to quite a lot of Pink Floyd lately. And partially because I choose to listen to Pink Floyd, and partially it's because the artificial intelligence over at Google selects Pink Floyd for me. And it sounds like my YouTube broadcast just paused. Oh, you know what? This is not actually Pink Floyd. This is a Pink Floyd cover by Milk and Blues, which they have some pretty girl singers in the band. Milk and Blues. I don't know. I think they're French, maybe. I don't know where they're from. But I've listened to a bunch of their recordings, and they're pretty good. They do like medley covers. Milk and Blues. If you want to look them up on YouTube, they're pretty good to listen to sometimes. The other person that I like on YouTube that does covers is Jen Sakura. She has a really wonderful voice. I don't know if she uses any of the auto-tuning electronics on her voice, but if she's a pure singer, she's really a wonderful person, really a wonderful singer. In fact, I'm going to listen to This recording of Jin Sakura featuring what? Nixie Puff? Nixie Puff? I guess that's not a real name. It's an arrangement of Kingdom Hearts music that I'm listening to. Video games have the most amazing music scores. Some of them do. And Jin Sakura tends to focus on video game music scores. So I like her a lot because she does that. If you want to look up Jin Sakura on YouTube, she sometimes goes by Jen PK, Jenn. She's obviously Asian in descent, but I don't know which Asian class she is. I don't know much about her. I just know she's a good singer. If I could support her on her Patreon site, I would do that. I would definitely send her my love in the form of cash money if I had it. So here we are, going to Ophaline Terminal, and it's a long flight, but not the longest flight I've ever been on. So it's 1 million credits, over 1 million credits, free and clear. So it's probably worth the time that I'm putting into it. I try to argue with people that video games are good for us, but they have you can get achievements that are like any real life achievements. They satisfy us in ways. Our sense of achievement in life is very important, I think. And some people want to say that video game addiction is a mental illness, and I don't exactly buy that line of argument. Though people with mental illnesses probably have a tendency to get addicted to all sorts of things. So I don't know, there's different ways of looking at it. Though video games have definitely been a large part of my life, though I distinguish between video games and PC games and console games, because in my mind, a video game is something that you drop quarters into at an arcade. That's a video game, like Pac-Man, for example, and Aliens and Defender. Those were all classic video games. Clearly, if you compare some of the old arcade games to modern PC games, there's a major difference in complexity of our PC games and console games these days. And they help us learn problem-solving skills. I really believe that playing PC games and console games, modern games, is helping people learn problem-solving skills. And when you have multiple players in the game, you're learning social skills as well, which are very important. If you happen to have 7.5 billion people living on a planet together, it's good to have some social skills, right? And a lot of young people tend to be lacking in the social skills department, so at least it seems that way to most of us. So some do quite well. It just seems to be an inherited personality trait, whether or not you'll do well with society and social skills. I cleaned out my mailbox today and I got a bill from my pharmacy saying I owed them money, and the last time I picked up medication from the pharmacy they said I had credit and I didn't have to pay for my medication. So I was like, okay, do I have credit or do I owe them money? Which is it? So I had to call the pharmacy today and ask them if I still have credit. And if I have credit, why am I getting a bill in the mail from the pharmacy? So they said they had to clear it up. I could ignore the bill, the bill that I got in the mail I could ignore. And they would clear it up with their people eventually. So it turns out that the pharmacy owes me money or drugs, whichever. Okay, I just got a mission critical message. See, I got an incoming enemy alert in the mail, and I've already landed the mission practically. So it's too late for an enemy to attack me. I'm in the no-fire zone. So I don't know if that's a glitch with their programming, or I don't think it should be working that way, that you get an incoming enemy alert right when you warp into a station. That doesn't seem right. That does not seem right. That seems like maybe a glitch in their software.
Landing permission granted. Clear to land on pad 3-5.
One time I got a mail, in-game mail, when I was doing a mission that said there was a mission update, and they had greatly underestimated the number of X commodity that they needed, and I should stop and pick up some additional commodities for them before I make my delivery. So, okay, I said, okay, so I pick up X commodity, I make the delivery, and I didn't have a mission for the X commodity. Apparently that was a glitch. Something didn't register properly. I didn't get credit for doing the mission and delivering the commodity. I didn't get any credit. I just sold it. I just ended up selling the stuff back to the commodity market and probably losing money on it. I didn't get a mission reward. So that's 1.1 million in my credit here. that gets me over 21. And my goal is 40. So that is definitely above average mission right there. Getting over 1 million for one mission. So the missions are supposed to get better as you gain rep. It doesn't seem that they really do. Still, I'm listening to Pink Floyd again. How? See, the AI over at Google keeps directing me to Pink Floyd, and I want to listen to something else right now. Let's listen to. What is the Super Mario Brothers game that just came out on the Switch called? What is that game called? Let's see. Let's look at Jen Sakura's channel real quick. Jen, I am subscribed. I'm a definite subscriber to Jen Sakura. And she did Dragonborn Comes. That was the first song. That was the first recording that I ever listened to by her. She did Dragonborn Comes, and I was looking for covers of I was looking for covers of Elder Scrolls games, and I found Jen Sakura in the process. She did Fear Not This Night, which is a Guild Wars 2 cover, which is pretty darn good. I really like it. She did the KDA Popstar song with Nikki Taylor, which isn't quite as good as other things that she's done, in my opinion. She's done a lot of League of Legends covers. League of Legends seems to have a pretty good music department. I do like the KDA Popstar song for some reason. And the anime chicks are wonderful, I think. Especially the ones with tails. So I got nothing here. No missions. Okay, here we go. Here we go. Agricultural supply run 45 units of tea. I'll take that. Now, one of the mission rewards is influence. A big amount of influence. Like I said, I'm not sure what influence does for a independent pilot. I think that it probably doesn't help the independent pilot that much, more than reputation does. Influence seems to be something that helps the faction in question get ahead. So it's a NPC game factor influence. But depending on what your goals are, you may want certain factions to gain influence. So I guess there's a reason for it to be in the game. Okay, the course is plotted. Let's launch. Get launched. This is almost something that I can do automatically while I'm talking and paying attention to YouTube videos. I can play this game and do the deliveries without paying that much attention to it. Especially when I'm flying from a warp end point over 200,000 light seconds. It doesn't take that much attention. You just have to be aware that you could be interdicted. Yeah, what is that Switch game called? That Super Mario Attack or Final Battle or what is that Switch game called? Because she did a cover of that song, which is pretty cool. I think the lyrics to that song are pretty awesome. I can't remember what the name of the song is though.
You are clear of the station. Safe travels, Commander.
It's acapella. Lifelight. The name of the song is Lifelight from Super Smash Bros. Ultimate main theme. I think that song is awesome, even though it's from a video game.
Frameshift drive charging.
One of the other video games that YouTube is trying to get me to listen to is music from a video game called Fire Emblem Fates. Fire Emblem Fate supposedly has good lyrics in their theme song. I haven't listened to it that much, but I'll probably end up getting directed back to it eventually by the AI over at Google. So this one's only 643 light seconds away, which is a much faster delivery, much faster delivery. This is where I have to be careful of overshooting the mark and getting slung by gravity. When you're coming in from a long range, it's easier to control your flight into the system. But when you have a short distance to fly, you're more like I am at least more likely to get uncontrolled gravity slinging effects. So I'm going to adjust my speed, pay a little closer attention to this, coming in manually. So I could use the Super Cruise Assist and it would put me right up to the station. Go for Super Cruise Assist. Let it bring me in. See, at this point, I can put the controller down. I don't have to touch it, and it'll bring me right in. But the only problem with that is that the controller vibrates in this game, and I haven't figured out how to turn the controller vibration off. I would like the option to turn the controller vibration off for this game so that it's not vibrating on my desktop when I set the controller down, because that makes a racket when it vibrates and I'm not holding it. So that is one thing. If I could talk to the guys over at Frontier, I would say give me an option to turn the controller vibration off. Add that to the game if it's not in there already. If it's in there already, tell me how to find it, because I haven't been able to find that option in the game. Speaking of controllers, the Steam came out with their own controller, and I got a bundle deal and I bought one. I got a bundle for Doom and the Steam controller. So I ended up buying the Steam controller and deciding that I didn't like it very much. So it probably depends on what game you're playing. So I did not need to hit my boost. I just got denied a docking request. I did not need to hit my boost. I don't want to be moving at this point, being that close to the station. Here is the medium. I think that's the medium right there. We're looking for a ship to leave and clear out the dock so that I can land. Apparently they're denying my docking request due to the dock being occupied by another ship, which is definitely an NPC. Here it comes. I think it's coming out now. One thing I've noticed is you do not always see the ship leaving. I should be able to get my docking request as soon as that ship clears away.
Docking request denied.
Not quite. Not quite. There we go.
Docking request granted.
There we go. That's the only thing. There's too many NPCs in this game that occupy my docking hangars. And I come up and I end up spending a minute trying to get a dock. And the dock is occupied, so...
Landing gear deployed. Docking successful. Engines disengaged.
And of course, if you're in a multiplayer game, I could occupy this dock indefinitely and prevent anybody else from landing here if I wanted to do that. So, yeah, for me it would be a waste of time as a solo player, mostly a lone wolf in the game, and a multiplayer game. It's the way I play multiplayer games. Though I often join guilds, I'm still usually a lone wolf type player. Though it's useful to get help sometimes. It is useful, definitely. Some things you cannot achieve on your own without help. Which is a good reason for us to have kids, I guess.
Incoming message.
Incoming message. Let's check the message. I got a reputation change. It notifies you every time your reputation changes with the faction. You get in-game mail. We're checking. Here's the controlling faction. They only got 4. They're looking for what I call gopher quests. Go out and buy us progenitor cells and bring them back here. Well, I would do that. They want 49 units of tobacco and they're paying 1.2 million. I think that might be worth doing. Let's see if we can find a source of tobacco by looking on the interweb and looking at a site that tells me about commodities in the game. Because there is no in-game method to find out who's selling what, where, which is kind of a drawback on the game because you have to use an external site to figure stuff out like that. This is Wolf 629. I want to put that system name in so I can find the closest to the system. And that will find me the closest station, but not always the best price. Actually, they do have the best price. In the database, I can find out who's selling it cheaper, but generally speaking, it's a question of who has a large enough supply of the stuff to fulfill the requirements of the mission. So with tobacco, a lot of stations have it. And it looks like there's 3 stations in Epsilon Indy that have tobacco, and it's only 22.2 light years away from Wolf. So I guess I will take this mission. Look, I could get a major boost to rep by doing this mission. And take 224K instead of the 1.2 million. But taking the 1.2 million is still going to get me a little bit of rep. So I probably go for the money. I'm going to go to Epsilon Indy to pick up the tobacco. So I'm going to look here really quick and see if there's anything going to Epsilon Indy, which there probably isn't, because it's too far away for the mission system. The mission system likes to give us single jump missions for some reason. And Epsilon Indy being 22 light years away, for some ships that would be more than a single jump. But for the ship that I'm in, that is a single jump mission. So okay, so we're not going to pick up anything here. Just the mission, like 1.2 million minus the cost of the tobacco, which it looks like it's going to cost me over 4K per unit. just over 4K per unit of tobacco. And I need however many units. I'm going to run into the station here. We did not. Why I'm running into the station is because I have not plotted the course yet. And let's see. In order to plot the course, I'm going to go to search for Epsilon Indy. And there it is. I'm going to plot that course. And there it is. There it is, 22.2 light years away. I'm ready to jump.
Frameshift drive charging.
Once again, about 10 seconds to charge the frameshift drive, and then 4 seconds to engage the frameshift drive. So I'm looking for a station called Mansfield Orbiter, which seems to have the greatest supply available, which you would hope is the least cost. Looks like they all have the same value. They have smuggling. They have smuggling. We're gonna go for 141 light seconds. This mission is not going to take long at all, provided they actually do have the commodity that I need. $49 units of tobacco. 49. That's going to cost me over 200K. And the mission reward is enough to cover that, more than enough to cover that. So even if you have the PS4 and you're playing a game and it's a multiplayer game online, it pays to have a PC, a desktop, or a laptop nearby to check on third-party sites to get detailed information about how to play your game. I got Ark Survival Evolved yesterday. It fully downloaded. It took several hours to download the game. It was like in excess of 60 gigabytes of files to download for Ark.
Tango, Oscar, Kilo. Welcome to the station, Commander. Commence with docking procedures.
And it looks like Ark is going to be a hard game to figure out. It's probably not a game that you want to solo. It's probably a game where you need multiple players to actually play the game effectively. And they have
Scan detected.
Ark servers with players on them. They tend to be private servers, though some of them are public servers operated by, I don't know what the name of the company is that makes Ark. I can't recall off the top of my head. What are we listening to? Black Mages, One Wing Angel. Dum 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 dum.
Landing gear deployed.
All tanks. Thank you.
Final Fantasy VII theme song. One Winged Angel.
Landing completed. Deactivating docking systems.
Must be boss music. Sounds pretty heavy metal there. Sounds pretty heavy metal. So I go down here and I see they got Indie Bourbon. Well, that is marked as a rare commodity, and I think there's a trophy for moving rare commodities. So I'll probably buy some of that just to say I've moved to rare. I actually need 49 tobacco for my mission. The interface is pretty straightforward to use in the commodity market. I'm going to buy the bourbon, even though I might lose money on it. Just to say I've moved to rare commodity. Oh, it's making me go 2 jumps back. I don't know why it's making me go 2 jumps back. It says it's 22.23 light years. I jumped 1 to go and I'm jumping 2 to go back. That doesn't make sense. Oh well, I guess I'll do the 2 jumps. Yeah, Final Fantasy VII, they're coming out with an update for Final Fantasy VII soon. I assume it'll be available on the PS4. I'll probably end up buying it. The reimagined Final Fantasy VII is going to be sold in chapters or something like that, like three or 4 parts to the game. Even though it's going to be expensive when it's brand new, I'll probably end up getting it. Because I can remember playing Final Fantasy VII when I was younger, and it was a pretty good game. It had a pretty good story to it. And it's probably one of the few Final Fantasy games that I actually finished.
Frameshift drive charging. System scan complete.
Every time it logs a system scan, I get credit for a cartography discovery that I can sell that data for a profit. And even though there's probably thousands of players in the galaxy in the game, making discoveries are unique to each player. So even though the place has been discovered before, I can still discover it again. And the cartography data that I collect is unique to my character. So that's a pretty good thing.
Frameshift drive charging.
It's playing more Final Fantasy music for me. This recording doesn't actually have a lot of views on it, but for some reason the AI over at Google picked it out for me. I did not choose it myself. It thinks I like Final Fantasy probably, and it's probably right. It's probably right. I remember going to see the Final Fantasy movie when it came out and thinking, you know what, the story in this movie has like no relationship to any of the games that they've ever made. So I could, it was a cool movie, sort of, but I was like expecting it to be have something to do with one of the stories from one of their games, and it didn't quite do that for me. But the guys over at Square create the most amazing worlds. I swear, those fantasy worlds that they create are amazing. So I was thinking about upgrading my PC because it's my CPU's my motherboard CPU combo is very old. It's only second generation stuff, and what are we up to? Like the 9th, 10th, 9th generation stuff now. My PC is getting outdated. It needs an upgrade. It desperately needs an upgrade, and I was hoping I would get financing for the upgrade, but my financing plans kind of fell through. So looks like I'm gonna have to work for the money to if I want to get the PC upgrade. So my docking request was denied. I'm looking, looks like a chip is docking right now in my dock, and I'm gonna have to wait for it to come out. before I'll be able to dock. Since it's an NPC, this probably won't take long, but as I said, if it was a player, they could sit there indefinitely and occupy the dock. And if there was an advantage to doing that, I'm sure someone would try to do it probably as a teamwork ploy to gank someone by making them sit outside of a dock, waiting to dock. That seems like a good ploy to me, if you want to be a ganker. If you want to be a player killer, though, you get your ship popped, you don't actually die in this game. You have a spacesuit and somebody drags you into port and you get the opportunity to buy another ship with 95% of it covered by insurance costs. So that you don't have to pay for. You don't have to buy the insurance on your ships in this game like you would in EVE Online. You have to buy in EVE Online. You not only have to buy insurance for your ships, you have to buy insurance for your skill points. Okay, the ship's coming out already, and I should be able to dock as soon as it clears.
Docking request denied. Docking request denied. Docking request granted. Landing gear deployed. Docking successful. Engines disengaged.
That's entertainment. No value. Okay, so here we are, delivering our 49 units of tobacco and getting paid for it. 1.2. I got up to 22.8 million credits. I'm like halfway to my goal. Here's a straight up delivery mission. I'm going to take it and move on. Cargo full. What cargo have I got? Have I got cargo? Oh, I got the bourbon. I didn't sell the bourbon. I got to go to the commodity market and sell the bourbon. I moved to rare commodity. Whether or not I made money on it is aside from the point, as far as I'm concerned. Looks like I'm going to be losing money. I'm losing 5,000, which is not too bad. But the point is I moved a rare cargo. Okay, let's go back to the mission board. Grab the cargo for the mission now that it will fit. Because 90 is almost my limit. 90 is just about my limit for cargo. Let's go ahead and refuel the ship.
Landing gear retracted. Ship released. Engines engaged.
Did I not? Did I fail to plot the course? Or what did I do here? I guess I did. Failed to plot the course. Let's go ahead. Am I still targeting the station? There it is. Okay. Wolf 636. Here I come. 12.7 light year jump by the edge of the planet. Okay, here we go.
Frameshift
10
drive
seconds
charging.
to charge and 4 seconds to engage.
Four, three, two, one. Engage.
Looks like the AI over at Google found something interesting for me to listen to that I've never heard before. Some orchestral arrangements. I gained like 5 or 6 new followers on my stream channel yesterday because I was playing Terraria on the PS4 and a bunch of people wanted to play Terraria with someone, so they followed my channel to jump on and play Terraria with me. So I spent $19.99 on Terraria. It was not on sale, but I figure if it got me 5 followers for playing that game, that was a pretty good deal. They were all young people, I think, which is great, because I love playing with young people, as long as they're nice people. And they're nice people so long as they're not trying to kill me. So they're all nice so long as they're not trying to kill me. And that is the way it goes usually.
Landing permission granted. Vector for approach to landing pad 18. Automated docking assist is now in progress.
And I know that some of those guys that followed me yesterday want to come back and play more Terraria as soon as they can, because that's probably their top game. And for me, it's a game that I played quite a bit, and I'm waiting for the final update to come out to play some more of it. But I got it on the PS4. I've never played the console version. The console version is slightly different from the PC version.
Landing gear deployed.
So I actually made my 50 follower milestone yesterday, and got an update on my my next goal, which has to be achieved within the 30-day period, is to get an average of 3 viewers, and then I become an affiliate with Twitch, which would be pretty nice. Whether or not it makes me any money is aside from the point, because I just do this I just do it for fun. I'm not a professional streamer, but in any sense of the word. Professionals make a living doing whatever they do, and I guess some streamers are able to do that professionally, but I don't worry about it that much.
departure.
Frameshift drive charging.
You are clear to resume open production.
3, 2, 1, engage. Incoming mission critical message.
Okay, I just got an incoming enemy alert. And the guy is definitely there. Captain Icebun. Captain Icebun. He's definitely there somewhere. Captain Icebun. He's a deadly Anaconda pilot, which I don't want to get stopped by that ship. So I'm definitely going to try to evade, and I've been almost 100% successful at evading interdictions. So I think I have a pretty good chance of evading this one if it comes. There's a chance that I will reach the port before the interdiction arrives, but I got to be ready to evade. And I'm smoking a cigarette while I'm waiting to evade, which occupies at least one of my hands. There we go. There's the evasion attempt. Now you have to try to line up with the escape vector to evade successfully. And I evaded. Now, it's possible, it is possible that I would get 2 interdiction attempts coming into port. So it's still possible that I could be interdicted again before I get into this port. But it's kind of rare. It is kind of rare that that happens with the NPCs. I think I've only had it happen once since I started playing on the PS4. I actually had 2 interdiction attempts that failed, both failed, thankfully. And I'm getting slung by the gravity well, which is not good. Since I'm trying to do this quickly and avoid another interdiction. I'm almost in range here.
Docking request denied.
And I'm being denied again. I like to get up there and look at the dock and see if the ship is leaving, because I can't always see the ship on my contact list for some reason. I think that again is a glitch with the game. You should be able to see the ships as contacts on your contact list, and you can't
Docking
always
request denied.
see them. And I am close enough, I guess. Looks like the port was just now occupied.
Docking
Let's
request
try
denied.
it again. Looks like I'm waiting for the ship to come out. It just went in. It's coming out now. It's coming out now. Come on. Stop.
Docking request granted.
There we go. I actually got it in reverse thrust. So the music, the docking music plays, and it's an orchestral piece reminiscent of 2001: A Space Odyssey.
Landing gear deployed.
I don't know what it's called, the Dance of the Bumblebees or something. I don't know what the name of this piece is called, but I'm sure it's a famous piece of orchestral music that has been used
Docking successful. Engines
in a movie, so. Or probably more than one movie saw the use of that piece of music. And I guess nobody can copyright it because the person that created it is long gone. And we're up to 24 million. So this is gonna take some time to get another 20 million in. Here we go. Here's a planetary landing at Wolf 718, which is almost worth $1 million.
Frameshift drive charging.
Why is it jumping me through 12 Ophiuchi? I am not sure.
3, 2, 1.
Apparently this destination is more than one jump in my ship. With the cargo load that I'm carrying, being at almost max holds is going to reduce your jump range. So it makes sense that a single jump mission may actually take 2 jumps to do if your cargo holds are full.
Frameshift drive charging.
Obviously I have enough fuel to jump a lot further, but due to the limits of the frameshift drive, I'm limited in how far I can jump, not by how much fuel I have, but by the frameshift drive itself. If I could jump my full fuel allotment, I might be able to jump 1,000 light years and blow all my fuel all at once and be empty when I arrive. So since this is a planetary landing, I'm going to take off the Super Cruise Assist. Make sure I go to the correct destination. Do this planetary landing. There is no way to automate the planetary landing. I have to actually manually bring it in to the base. So I am flying the ship right now. I got an impact warning, and it looks like my lights are on. I don't know why you need ship lights in this game. You mostly don't need them for anything. But it makes sense that you have them, I guess, in a realistic sense, that you have lights on your ship. Oh, that was almost perfect. Almost perfect. That was just about right.
Lakon Tango Oscar Kilo. Welcome, Commander. Starport services are at your disposal. Authorization cleared. Make your way to landing pad 05. Automated docking confirmed.
Landing gear deployed.
Contact. Power down system.
Looks like the best mission for me to get is 24 units of explosives, which is kind of a below average mission reward on there. And not only that, it's for the Justice Party, right? Justice Party, right? No, I don't know. Where was it? There it is. Okay. So this is a Federation faction. It's a planetary landing at 86 Mu Hercules.
clear of federal restriction zones. This is FFC, signing off.
Frameshift drive charging. 4, 3, 2, 1. Engage. Frameshift drive charging.
I think I could transfer some of my stream content to my YouTube channel. I have to think about doing that, but it tends to get me in trouble with the copyright stuff. Whenever I go on YouTube and try to post content, I got a copyright ban once, so I have a black ball on me at the moment. I lost my ability to stream anything for like 90 days. I was really sort of fooling around. I was a little bit crazy the day that I did that content. So it was just one of those crazy days in my life. It was highly experimental streaming. Got me in trouble. 831 kilometers. How did I come out so far? I totally screwed that up somehow. I am not sure how that happened.
Frameshift drive charging. Ready to engage. 4, 3, 2, 1. Engage.
Either I screwed up or the game screwed up. I'm not sure what happened there. Not exactly sure what happened there.
Docking request denied.
See, I cannot see the dock from here, the medium dock. So I cannot see whether or not there's a ship entering or leaving that dock.
Docking request denied.
Looks like there may be a ship entering at the moment. Yeah, there is definitely a ship entering. So I'm gonna have to wait till he comes out. Now I can see it. He's sitting there on the landing pad. And come on, now finish your business and get off. Get off. I would blow him up. Blow him right off the pad if I had guns. If I had guns right now, I'd shoot him. Get out of my way. There he goes. Come on, get out of here. You pesky NPC occupying my landing pad. Gotta wait till he clears it.
Docking request denied. Docking request granted. Landing gear deployed. Docking successful. Engines disengaged.
I've got explosives. I'll blow you up. I've got high explosives. They will solve any problem. Any
Incoming
problem.
message.
25 million. Huh. They want battle weapons and reactive armor. I'm like, that is a big payout for battle weapons, but they're probably expensive. Let me check the commodity market real quick and see how much battle weapons cost. Because it might be worth doing, and it might not be worth doing. Looks like they're worth about 7.4K a piece. The lowest price is 5.5K per unit. Let's see if there's an available source for battle weapons. I might do it. 90 units of battle weapons. That's going to cost. That is going to cost. But it's a big reward. Let's see, where am I at? I'm at 86 Mu Hercules. 86 Mu Hercules. Include planetary bases, yes. It looks like I could get a supply at 5.7K, 5.8K per weapon and Altair. Let's go ahead and take it, I guess. So I have to plot a course to Altair. So it's probably going to cost me about 540K to buy these weapons. Just under 540K. It's going to detract a bit from my reward, but it's such a large reward, it's worth doing.
Frameshift drive charging.
Operations, we're picking up solar flare activity. Expect disruptions. Over.
for Tereskova Dock. Fortunately, it's not that far away. I had to fly over 300 light years to pick up a single unit of meta alloys for Engineer Farseer to unlock the engineering department on my ships so I could get mods. And that one single unit of meta alloy was worth like 250k for like one single unit of meta alloy. Almost 250k, something like that. And I got an interdiction attempt on my way to bring it back to the engineer, which I wasn't surprised because I was passing through Anarchy Systems on the way back, and that's a pretty high value cargo. So I was not surprised that I got the interdiction attempt.
Landing gear deployed. Docking successful. Engines disengaged.
So hopefully my third-party website is accurate and they actually have the commodity here, which they do have battle weapons. The price on the third-party website is wrong, but that's okay. I'm spending a little bit more than expected. 543.8k, so we'll say 544 spent in the name of democracy. Battle weapons are always going to be needed, probably. I do, in fact, have the units on board. And I got a short jump back to the station where I picked up the mission.
Frameshift drive charging.
Now the cargo, like I said, I got $500,000 in cargo. It's quite possible that I'll get an interdiction attempt at this point without warning. But the distance to the station is not that great, so hopefully I'll get in without any trouble. Uh-oh, there we go. That's the ship I'm looking for, the one with the big hull. Yes, that guy is coming in to interdict me, and he's on my contact list, I assume. Aaron von Schaff. Arana von Schaff. Uh-oh, here we go. Uh-oh, we got a good interdictor here. This is gonna be tough. Fortunately, this ship is pretty maneuverable. Interdiction evaded. See, I got that one without much warning. It came in very quick. And probably he's not going to get me a second time before I land this sucker. Fortunately, I got immediate docking requests granted. I worry that the bad guy will come in here and shoot me up while I'm trying to land sometimes, but they probably won't because they're NPCs and they're programmed not to do that. And they ain't no fire zone, so hopefully, unless the game glitches out and they do come in and shoot at me.
Landing gear deployed. Docking successful.
I always enter the hangar for that reason, because I'm afraid somebody will try to shoot me on the landing pad if I sit there. So I made about $1 million,
Incoming
almost
message.
$1 million. And I got a reputation change because of that, which is good. Okay, I'm gonna take a break and go look for some food, I guess. Thanks for watching my stream, and keep coming back, my friend. Keep coming back, because there's always more. There's always going to be more.